So we all have those video effects that look super smooth, but also boggle your viewers' minds. So that's why in this video, I'm gonna show you the smooth reverse effect, which takes your everyday, normal looking slow motion clip and adds some flavor to it. But first, my name is Billy Ripka, and I make weekly Davinci Resolve tutorials about different effects, transitions, and workflows that'll help you become a better editor. So if you wanna level up your editing skills, click the subscribe button and the bell notification to stay up to date on the newest videos put out. But let's get into it. All right, so now that we're in Davinci Resolve, we're gonna go ahead and start creating this smooth reverse effect. The only thing you really need is a clip, and this clip, the one that I'm using specifically for this effect, is shot at 120 frames per second. It's not necessary that it's shot at 120 frames per second, but it is ideal. And I personally just went on a stock video website like ArtGrid and downloaded a clip from there. So once you have your clip, just go ahead and drag it onto our timeline. If any of you guys are wondering, the timeline settings we're using are 24 frames per second and 1920 by 1080 resolution. Now just zoom into the clip by holding Alt and using your scroll wheel, and then look through the clip to find the place that you want this effect to happen. I want to have the person diving into the water, and just right at the last moment, stop and reverse. It breaks the assumption. You assume that the person's just gonna dive right in and splash and it's gonna keep moving forward. But no, it stops and it reverses, and it just kind of does the opposite of what you think. So that's why I love to throw this effect in there. It's just kind of like a curveball every once in a while. It keeps your audience on their toes, and it stops them from being bored. So for this clip, it's right as the guy is about to hit the water. Now just right click on the clip and select Retime Controls. Then hit this drop down arrow and select Freeze Frame. So now if I just move my playhead over it, you can see that there's a freeze frame right in the middle of our clip. So the thing is that we want our effect to go from normal speed to freeze frame, and then from freeze frame to reverse. So to make our clip reverse, we need to first add another speed point, and you want to add this speed point as close to the end of the clip as possible. And the reason why you have to add another speed point at the end is because Resolve will not recognize this as a section that can be reversed. So by adding a speed point, it's going to allow that section to be reversed. So now in this section, right after the freeze frame, hit the drop down arrow and select Reverse Section. So now if we move our playhead over, you see that the section is now reversed, but it's not smooth. It's like the opposite of smooth, unsmooth. So to fix this, right click on the clip and select Retime Curves. This will just pull up our keyframe editor. Now hit the drop down arrow in the top left and uncheck Retime Frame and check Retime Speed. So now we can see our speed changes, and clearly that is not smooth. There ain't no curves. So we gotta make it curvy. So you can see what's going on here. We have our normal speed, and our normal speed drops down to the freeze frame. And then from the freeze frame, it goes down even more to the reverse. Don't worry about this keyframe right here. That's just because we had to section off that reverse. So literally do not worry about it. So if your speed points are out of view, then you can actually just click and drag these numbers and increase or decrease and just move it all around. You can literally expand your view. So it's super important, trust me. And of course, the same goes for the bottom view. So to make these keyframes buttery smooth, we have to click on the point and hit Smooth Keyframe right here. And then just do the same thing for the other keyframe. Now we can just adjust the curves by clicking and dragging the handles all around right here. But if you only want to adjust one side of the curve, you can just grab the handle on that side and hold control and just drag it around like this. So ultimately, it's only gonna change that one side as opposed to both sides of the curve. So smooth out the keyframes to the freeze frame so that it's not such a harsh transition going into the freeze frame and leaving the freeze frame. You just want it to all be nice and smooth. Then once you have everything the way you want it, just grab the top tab on the speed point and just drag it closer to where the speed ramps just go right into one another like this. So once you got everything timed correctly, just go ahead and make any last minute changes on the curves. And then once you feel like you got it the way that you want it and it looks nice, you can just go ahead and close out all of the controls if you want. You don't really need to. So now the effect itself looks good, but the clip is choppy as heck because we're really transitioning from 100% speed down to 0. So there's gonna be some frame lossage in there. So to fix that, we can enable optical flow. So click on your clip right here and go into the inspector tab and move down to the retime and scaling. Now under the retime process, change it to optical flow, and then under motion estimation, change it to enhance enhanced better. And depending on your clip, you can just play around with the motion estimation. It doesn't have to be enhanced better. Personally, that just works good for what I do and the look that I'm going for, but just try it all out. So now it looks pretty fantastic. And if we really want to add some emphasis on the reverse effect, you can actually just go back into your retime controls and make the beginning and the end section faster. So to do that, just go ahead and grab the blue tab and drag it closer to the freeze frame section, and you'll see that the speed increases. And you can do the same thing for the reverse section, but instead grab the top of the speed point right here and drag it towards the freeze frame. So there you have it, the smooth reverse effect in Davinci Resolve. If you thought this video was helpful, give it a like and also share it with your friends so that they can do this effect too. Also, I just want to thank ArtGrid for making this video possible by providing a massive library of high quality, almost like cinema grade footage that I was just able to choose from, and it was like super simple. I've personally not only been using ArtGrid, but also ArtList for both my video and audio. So if you guys are interested in those, use my link in the description because it will give you 2 extra months on your year subscription. So like that's 14 months right there. So trust me when I say this, I use these services every single week for my own video production. Also, one more question. How are you guys doing with the coronavirus, with life, with being on lockdown? How are you guys holding up? Let me know in the comments below. I really do care and I will answer you guys. Personally, me and my wife are doing great. I'm doing a lot of editing, doing a lot of jobs, that kind of stuff, because those bills got to be paid. But really just taking this time to do a lot of planning and where we're going with this channel in the future, and it's just going to be a lot of awesome stuff. So I'm really excited for what is happening in the future, and I appreciate you guys so much because I mean we just hit 11,500 subscribers. Like that's insane, guys. I cannot believe it. I'm like beyond humbled with this position I'm in. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you guys. I seriously do. I try to tell you as much as possible. Anyway, as usual, the video on the top is a video all about how to create a crazy spin transition in Davinci Resolve. And the video on the bottom is a video that YouTube thinks that you would like. But until the next one, peace.